Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Together We Grow podcast. My name's Paul,
And I'm Tamer.
and this is episode 35. And in this episode, it's going to be a bit different to what we've normally done. This one is going to be about what selling a business is really like. Because we know that a lot of people will probably want to do that at some point. And to be honest, when you start a business, you should probably have some kind of end goal, whether that's selling it or handing it over to someone else, retiring, whatever you want to do. It's always good to have an end goal to work towards, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's good to know what you're working towards so that you can just keep going and try and hit your target, really.
Yeah. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why we did it, how we went about selling it, talking about the offers, the agreements, how we conducted viewings, how it actually completed, and then what happened post completion. And then now it's been over 12 months now, about 15 months now since we sold it. So we'll talk about what we've been up to and what's next for us as well.
It's a bit strange to think it's been that long, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So this is episode 35. Shall we crack on?
Let's go.
Okay, yeah. So, we sold the business in June 2020, the end of May 2024, right at the end of May. But we actually put this up for sale May 2023, didn't we?
We did, yeah. It's not something that you just list available online to say we're up for sale and it goes that quick, like really quickly.
Well, actually, when we're talking to people, when we're talking to our agent that we use to sell it, actually completing it from listing to completion within a year is actually pretty quick. But
I didn't expect it to take as long as it did, I don't think.
No. But also, I guess one thing to think about is in terms of speed, this offer that we accepted and we end up selling, we got at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
So in, let's call it 3 months, we had an offer and then it was all completed within 3 months, completely done. And I don't think that's particularly normal, not when it's done professionally and properly,
Yeah.
which of course this had to be done because it wasn't a massive business by any stretch of imagination, but it certainly wasn't a tiny business,
No.
It employed over 10 people. I can't remember how many people it was, employed numerous people and was doing, in excess of £1.5 million in sales a year. So,
Yeah.
It needed to be treated properly, and it was quite complex. But we managed to get it done. And also there's lots of ways deals can be structured and things like that. And this was just quite a simple payment and exit type one, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a little bit that we had to do afterwards, but it wasn't anything complex. We didn't want to retain rights or retain any kind of brand ownership or brand ambassadorship, nothing like that, which can complex things, can't it?
It can, yeah. We wanted to sort of have the deal in place that was easy to follow for both parties, essentially, and also meant that we could then move on with our life as well a bit.
Yeah. So shall we talk about why we decided to do this?
Yeah.
So I guess this stems back to, this is incredibly personal. We've spoken about it on this channel before, but this stems back to us wanting to have our own family.
Yeah.
And trying for years and years and years and going through all sorts of fertility treatment. And it just didn't work. So we found that our next option was going to be adoption, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And if you've ever been down to the adoption route or know anybody that has, you'll know how involved it is, how much of a long process it is, how tiring it is as well. So you really need some headspace to be able to go through that process.
Yeah, you do, absolutely. And so we went to that first meeting, didn't we, to talk about, as a group meeting where you talk about adoption and what's involved and everything. And the amount of stuff that was involved, I actually came away from it really angry, didn't I?
You did. I came back with a notebook full of notes and books I was going to buy.
The reason for that is because if you're able to have a child, anyone can have a child. There's no checks. You can just have a child, yeah? But if you want to adopt someone, honestly, the amount of hoops you have to dive through and the check, they interview your friends, they forensically examine your finances and everything like that. I get it, I understand it, but it's just you see some proper scumbags how they treat their children and what's happened to all this kind of stuff, having them. And us, we're very good people, work very hard and have done okay for ourselves. And we have to jump through all these hoops to try and do it. So I just came away really angry and I needed some time to chill out about that, didn't I? Get my head around it.
Yeah, you needed time to sort of process it and really think about it.
But the real kicker was that if you are full-time employed and you want to adopt, you get full maternity and paternity cover, from the government. You get that pay and everything. And when you do this adoption, they want you, one of the parents, I think it was a year, they want you to a full year to not be at work and to be with the child.
And in that time, you have to prove that you've got the money to be able to replace that income for that whole year.
Yeah, that's it. But if you are a business owner, like we both are, for the same company, you get zero support from the government.
Yep, nothing at all.
Yeah, literally nothing. So one of us has got to have a whole year off. Well, the other one is obviously working and whatever. But we know that if you're having a whole year off, you're still going to be working because you're a business owner. And we were like, hang on, man, this is just not fair. This is just not fair. And we absolutely hated it. I certainly did anyway. It really got to me. So, and also I was thinking, you know what? We have waited so long to try and have our own family that I don't want to, if we do have one and we're in a position to like not work or work from home instead of, how stressful it is having a team full of people and running a product-based business, a manufacturing business, that's very stressful. I don't want to deal with that. I want to spend that time with that child that we've worked so hard to have. So that's why we decided, you know what, let's see what this is worth and let's put it up for sale.
Yeah. So then we'd both be able to have the freedom. The idea was to work from home and raise a child together.
Exactly. So that's the reason why, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we put it up for sale. And then when it comes to listing it, what we did was we worked with an agent up in Manchester. I've forgotten their name. Can you remember their name? No. So I've forgotten their name, but there's loads of business listing agents out there. And you send them all your finances, you send them everything about your company. They will tell you what it's worth. They will then get you listed and they will create a beautiful brochure and they will start sending it out to all of their contacts and everything.
Yeah.
And that was okay, wasn't it?
That was, yeah. You work quite closely with them to create this brochure and everything, make sure it's all perfect how you want it, all the wording's right and everything, of course, because you know your own business. But also, when you speak to them and say, yep, happy to send it out to everybody, they have their own contacts. Also, you'd have some suggestions of people that you think would be interested in buying that are the right sort of business and the right sort of brand. And you'd also have a list of people that you probably don't want to sell to as well. So you just give all of that information to them. They'll make sure they contact the right people. They'll make sure they don't contact the other people. And they've got a list of people that you don't want to communicate with as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Now
it's important to talk about that side as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that whole process was very smooth.
Yeah, it was straightforward.
I remember the name of the company. It's Hilton Smythe.
That's it.
And yeah, we recommend those. I think they did well for us. Communication was very good. When we were assigned our agents, I'd get phone calls near enough every day, wouldn't I? Just give me updates and things. And then what would happen is they would send through. So you would have a brochure, basically, that goes out to all these people that inquire. And then if they are interested in finding out more from you, you then send them a proper detailed pack, which is all of your finances, full details of your company. And it's at that point where the agent will actually contact us to say, this person has expressed more information or asked for more information. Is it okay to send them the stuff? Yep. And then I would always do like a little Googling to see who they are. Because, I've done this before when I've got finances from other companies, competitors that have gone up for sale, just because I want to be nosy. So I did that research, and there was a few that we said no to, but most of them you say yes to.
Yeah.
And a lot of them you never hear back from.
Yeah.
But you do actually get some people who want to book in a viewing. And we had not many viewings.
We had a few of them, didn't we? Yeah, a few different people.
Yeah, we had a few viewings. And these viewings, what happens is they come to your premises, sit down with you and have a meeting with you, and then you show them around. That's what I did. I just showed them around. They take some samples away and they then consider it. They then typically will come back with more questions.
Yeah.
Or an offer. Or you won't hear from them again. And all three of those things happened a few times. So in that meeting, it depends who you're selling to. So, and we were very keen on the type of people we wanted to sell to.
Yeah. We wanted to make sure that the business carried on, that everybody still had their jobs, that the whole brand kept going, didn't we? So we wanted to make sure we sold it to somebody that was in the position to do that and was willing to do that, because we had people that wanted to buy the business, break it down, fold it into their own business, just sell it off for parts essentially as well.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that we sold it to the person that was going to continue the business.
That's it, yeah. So we had numerous conversations with a competitor of ours, a key competitor of ours, who were very keen on us. Bear in mind, we were 3 brands: Cozy Aromas, Craft HQ, and Waxkind. They were only interested in Cozy Aromas and really only interested in the customers. And they were based up north, which meant that they'd shut everything down. And we didn't want that because some of our closest friends work for the business.
Yeah.
And we didn't want us to leave, essentially, in their eyes. I mean, this isn't necessarily true, but in their eyes, cash out, and then they lose all their jobs.
Yeah.
So we didn't really want that. And we had other people come around. One of them was an investment company.
Yeah.
That was quite a scary meeting, actually, because they were very, very smart, very intelligent. Obviously, they're an investment company. And they basically what they do is they buy up lots of businesses and then just let them run as they are. And obviously they take the profit.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that works. And they invest in the company and get it growing. We had an offer from them as well.
We did.
But at the time, that was just ridiculously low for us, wasn't it?
It was.
And also, that kind of meant that we would probably be retained to help keep it all running, which again, we didn't want. That defied the point.
Yeah, defied the whole point of selling, didn't it?
We had another one come in who was actually from a local garden centre.
We were quite excited about that one.
We were. He owned a garden centre, but I was always like a bit unsure as to how serious he was, because the garden centre isn't a massive garden centre.
No.
So why would you want to acquire this as well? And sure enough, we didn't hear anything from him.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we had the inquiry from the company that we ended up selling to. They themselves had been bought out by a company overseas, and that company overseas was actually acquiring lots of like-minded companies, similar companies in the UK. Just their way of expanding. That's what people do. If you can't grow your own business, you acquire others to grow it, basically, and that's kind of how it works. And those went really well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And it was nice to meet somebody that knows the industry properly as well. And when they had a good look around, they obviously understood everything that we were talking about, because like the people, the investment company and stuff, for instance, that we showed around, they didn't really know the industry, did they? They didn't understand the industry. So it was quite nice to be able to talk to people that did understand the industry and really know what we were talking about, which was quite nice. That made it a bit easier, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And we had a meeting with them and pretty much almost agreed a deal there and then, didn't we?
Almost.
They went away. They sent us a formal offer in writing, which was actually more than what we had spoken about in our meeting. Now, I know everyone wants to know numbers and stuff like that, but we're under contract. We're under agreement for 3 years, I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, we can't talk about this kind of stuff.
No.
So we can't, not for a few more years. But let me just say, I will say on this point, this isn't we're millionaires now type of situation. It's nothing like that. We still have to work. What it did was it gave us comfort for a while, as well as, so we had good comfort for a while, and also we've managed to put some money into our investments, our stocks and shares and stuff like that, which is for future life and for upcoming events and things.
That's for our retirement, essentially, isn't it?
So hopefully that'll just accumulate. So, it certainly wasn't crazy numbers.
No. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, you sell a business, you're now absolutely rich, you've got loads and loads of money, and you don't ever have to work again. That's not the case. We're still working.
Yeah, not for us.
Yeah, I know some businesses that does happen, but not every business.
No, not every business. But, it depends what you're doing it for, doesn't it? We didn't do it for a payout. We did it to get out of the day-to-day stresses, as well as having a bit of comfort.
Yeah.
If we were doing it for a big payout, then I don't think we would have sold then.
No.
We would have really optimized the business a lot further, grew it more, and then done it, basically.
Yeah.
So that's us getting the offers and the viewings and things like this. And then once we accepted the offer, and we accepted it right away, didn't we?
Yeah.
You then go through pre-agreement contracts, basically, where you basically say, okay, we're accepting this offer. whilst this proceeds to the next stages, we're not going to accept any offers from anyone else.
Yeah.
We're not going to sell it elsewhere, which is fair enough. Isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like you're moving on to the next stage of the contract, isn't it? And you're getting all of the legal side of things in place. So you're not going to do that with somebody else and then
That's it.
push them aside.
Well, that's it. And that protects the buyer because they're going to invest money in legals and things.
Yeah.
And then it comes to due diligence.
That's quite a process, isn't it?
Due diligence is them making sure that everything in the business is as it should be.
As we've said it is as well.
As we've said it is.
Yeah.
So they'll send you a big questionnaire via the lawyer. They send you a big questionnaire, and that takes hours and hours to complete. It's massive. But I did that. I just focused my whole time on this. They want to get, not only is it answering this questionnaire, but it's providing them, every question you have to provide them with documents.
Yeah.
So you have to rummage through all of your contracts, all of your holidays, all of your staff stuff, all of your supplier agreement, so much stuff is unreal. And then what they do, they then examine all of that and to make sure it's all right. Sometimes they do it properly, sometimes they don't, sometimes they just ignore it.
Yeah.
And that can happen, but that's their issue, not ours.
Yeah. As long as you provide everything in that questionnaire and all of the documents that are relevant to it as well, go above and beyond and put everything in there possible, then you've got it all there. It's all covered. You've done everything, haven't you?
Yes.
Supplied everything in advance.
Once that's been done, and that takes weeks, by the way. Once that's been done, it's then the SPA, which is the sales purchase agreement.
Yep.
Which again is a over 100-page document, which you really need to have a lawyer properly go through, which will cost you a few thousand to raise anything. And then once you've got that SPA, you might have some changes you want to make to it, which your lawyer will do, send it across. The lawyers just speak to each other here, basically, and rack up your bill. That's basically what they do. And when it's into a position you're happy with, all parties sign it, you transfer all of the shares, all that kind of stuff, you get paid, job done.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really.
Yeah, it sounds quite simple the way you like.
It sounds simple, but of course it's not, and it's very in depth. And then in our agreement, and that's the thing, some of the agreements there'll be a handover process, all this kind of stuff. For us, there wasn't really a handover process.
Not really, no.
Not really. We just worked very closely with them anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm quite organised, so I supplied like so many documents on like, this is how we do marketing, this is how we update the website, this is how we print things, honestly, literally all that kind of stuff, So that was all okay. But part of our agreement was we were going to be on hand for 12 months to help support them with marketing, running the business, anything they needed help with.
Yep, any questions they had.
Yeah, and they didn't use that at all.
No.
Which is a real shame because things might have panned out differently. But
that was their prerogative.
That was their prerogative, and it's up to them,
Yeah.
Which is fine by us, I guess. And after that, so I think it was the 22nd of May, something like that, is when we actually completed.
Yep.
We got the money in our bank. We no longer owned that company. I think it was for the next week. We just was there handing stuff over. We had Nathan on board, who was our operations manager.
Yeah.
And we were gearing him up to basically take over the day-to-day.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the following Wednesday, we were like, well, Nathan is now at my desk. I don't have a desk in this business. We're all kind of done, so we just left.
It was a bit strange, wasn't it?
And then we like emptied our desk, brought it home. We were like, okay, that's that now. This is a bit scary.
It was really scary. I knew that obviously we were selling everything, we'd planned to do it, but it kind of felt surreal. It was like, everything's signed, got the money, doing the handover for that first week, and then it's like, but you feel like a bit of a spare part.
Yeah, you do. And the thing is, though, we had an electric car, which was a company car. So that went back.
Yeah.
So we had to buy our own car.
Yeah.
And we have a caravan, a touring caravan, or had. So we had to have a tow car. So we had to get one of those quite quickly, didn't we?
Yeah.
And, everything involved in doing that. But what we did know is that we were going to carry on working straight away. We didn't want to go into like holiday mode or anything like that because we couldn't. And also, I knew at some point we'd have to start working again, and I didn't want to get lazy, basically.
Yeah.
So the next day, literally the next day, we set up our office. We decorated it all, as you've seen now, as you're watching this on YouTube, all of this, and you've probably seen our videos and stuff. And we started working straight away, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we didn't just sit there and rest. We literally came in, because this is our spare room, or our box room. We came in, there was a big desk in the middle, and it was a bit of a junk room at the same time, wasn't it? And it's like, right, we can't work in here full time, we're going to have to do something. So it's like, right, empty everything, clean it, paint it, new furniture, go. And then literally the next day, which would have been the Friday, it was like, right, hit the ground running and get onto marketing and starting to grow our business, or our new business. And you know, it was weird to think that we left on the Wednesday, complete redo of the whole room on the Thursday, and we were ready to start
Yep.
full-time work on the Friday.
That's it. And the new business is this, Home
Yeah.
Fragrance Academy, which we're really enjoying, and it's so fulfilling. That's what we wanted, is whatever we did next, we wanted it to be, obviously we wanted to earn from it, but also we wanted to be fulfilling work. And just us two, because we work well together, we didn't want to hire people or have expensive premises and stuff like this. And I knew that I wanted to keep it as lean as possible. This business costs in total about £500 a month to run.
Yeah.
And that is all software based.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really.
And essentially, wherever we are, we can work.
Yeah.
As long as we have an internet connection, we can work. So if we're on holiday somewhere, take a laptop, crack on, do some work.
Exactly. And, you know, don't get me wrong, we haven't been at it full time, if you like.
No.
There has been times where we wanted to, you know, where we've really wanted to revamp everything, like earlier this year, release new courses, release new products and stuff. And then we are like really full time at it. But we're early risers, so we start early and we'll work. And then probably about 9:30, 10ish, we go for a walk around the village.
Yep.
As long as it's not like a windy, rainy day like today. And then, you know, we'll come back, carry on working, have some lunch, carry on working until early afternoon probably.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll do something, go out somewhere. Or there's no structure, so we might go out in the morning and do something. But either way, you know, what we're trying to do now is not like be bound to the office and like, oh my God, I have to do this. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. You know, like when we had the Home Fragrance on Cozy Romans, was the Facebook group, for example, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was it was an amazing tool for us, and a massive resource. And it was fantastic for building our community and getting us in loads of sales. But of course, it was also something that was a huge time zap, wasn't it? And during the day, we had a team at work. So Lindsay was running that. And then in the evenings, it was me that would take over. So she'd finish work for the day, and then I'd take over. I'd make sure literally every half an hour I'm checking the group and answering every comment and posting in there myself and keeping the conversations going, because that's what you need to do to build your business and to build your community to get those sales coming in.
Sure.
So not having that same structure this time round of Home Fragrance Academy, we have our group, and it is a very lovely group of 900 odd people.
But it's nice, demanding.
But it's not as demanding. It's a different type of group because it's business to business, isn't it? So they understand that evenings are where they're doing their work as well. And it's a whole different type of community.
It is.
And it's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, it is. And as well as that, you know, with Cozy, we had like product launches at the weekends, in the evenings, live shops, all that kind of stuff. Which we loved. You know, don't get me wrong, we absolutely loved it. But what we wanted to do, the whole point of doing this, was to change our life a bit.
Yeah.
And to run on our own terms.
To have a bit more freedom to be able to do the things like, do you know what, do you fancy going out for a coffee today? You know, stuff like that, to be able to have that.
Yeah, and that's what we're managing to do. And that's our focus now, is Home Fragrance Academy.
Yeah.
You know, and when we first, don't get me wrong, when we first did this full time, when we left our other business, maybe 7 people actually cared about us.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Obviously more than that, but that's what it felt like. But over the past year, we've really built it up now, and it's starting to become something quite significant, to be honest. We're helping hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, in July, we had our best ever month where it turned over £12,000.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, this is £12,000, and this is digital products.
Yeah.
It cost us
£500
to run. That cost will always stay fixed. And this is digital. So we've done the work, people buy it. We haven't got to fulfill the order or anything like that. We haven't got to do anything because they've done it. What we're there for is to coach them. Now, I am doing a lot more one-to-one calls.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of those. So every week you have multiple of them, don't you, at the moment?
So that's the one thing which is quite sort of strict. But again, they're scheduled in on my own terms.
Yeah.
really, because I set the schedule for them. And otherwise, yeah, we've got a good plan for things we're going to be launching. We're constantly monitoring our Facebook group. You're monitoring loads of other Facebook groups to see what people want.
Yeah.
And
then we can create the content and the courses around things that people actually really need to help their businesses to grow.
And what we're trying to do is the stuff we're launching, we're trying to be no hype, not like some of the courses and like, especially in America, those kind of things you see. No hype, no BS, just short courses, straight to the point. This is how you do this stuff. And this is how I know you do this stuff because this is the proof that we've got.
Yeah.
You know, luckily we have those years of experience in building a successful home fragrance business to rely on.
Yeah. And I speak to a lot of people, obviously, and quite often the feedback I get is that our courses are easy to understand because some people have done courses before with other people and stuff, and they're so technically worded or they've got so much fluff in them that trying to work out what's real and what's not is quite difficult.
Yeah.
So across all of our things, so all of our content, all of our courses, everything that we do, we try to make it as simple to understand as possible because, you know, most people don't know anything about marketing. So sticking loads of jargon in front of them isn't going to work. It's only going to confuse them and upset them, essentially, because they're not going to know how to do it.
Exactly. And, you know, people are buying these products from us. So we want them to be amazing and we want them to get so much for their money. And they do.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we want them to buy something else as well.
Yeah.
This is what we teach people. We teach people customer retention. So you want to wow them, a no-brainer offer. So our Q4 plan, where we teach people how we earned £500,000 in Q4.
Yep.
It's £29 is what we're selling it for. And that's a course and loads of other like guides and things and templates to help them achieve the same. And like strategies, like this is what we did, follow the same thing. And like a calendar, a timeline, everything.
Yep.
And this is exactly what to launch, when, and how to do it.
Yep.
So that's a no-brainer offer.
Yep.
And then and this is what we teach people. So if we got these no-brainer offers and that they get so much value from it, then chances are they'll probably buy something else that we have to offer.
And we see a lot of that, don't we?
We do. We're starting to see a lot more repeat purchases now, which is key in this industry. In any industry, is certainly home fragrance because it's low-priced items.
Yeah.
Just like our courses are. Our courses are low-priced. We could probably bundle everything together into one £800 course.
Easy.
But that's a lot of money for people.
Oh.
And it's also going to be massive. There's so much stuff to consume there. Our strategy at the moment is short, bite-sized courses around one ultra-specific issue that we're going to help you solve.
So you can fix one issue, see that that's working, and then, okay, brilliant, that works. So I can leave that, and then I can move on to the next thing. I need help with X, Y, Z, and then look at that next course. And then you can take it in your own time. And once you've bought these courses as well, you've got them for life.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's what we've done since then. And so now we're over 12 months on.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a huge change for us. May last year is when it started, and May to December last year was just incredible for us. You know, we did things we didn't think we were going to do. We built a bar in our back garden, a bar shed, which has been wonderful for friends. Went on a few trips away in our caravan and all that kind of stuff. And 2025, we're now beginning of September, 2025 started off the worst thing we've ever experienced, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. 2025 started off horrible.
Yeah. So our border collie Willow that we had for 15 years, she had a horrendous illness over Christmas. We actually found out on Christmas Eve, basically, that she had cancer and there was nothing they could really do. But we sort of said, okay, well, there was an option, and it was a operation.
A splenectomy.
Take her spleen out. They did that, but because she was so old, there was a huge pressure on her spine, and after her operation, she was paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to make that horrible decision. Sorry, this is still really raw. And yeah, so that was on the 10th of January, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that was horrible. But, okay, since then, we decided that, you know, we went obviously through a deep mourning stage. And as you can tell, we're not quite out of it yet. the whole of January, we didn't do anything.
No, we barely.
Work-wise, we didn't do anything. But what we did decide we were going to do is we couldn't be in this house. So we went on a trip. We went to New York City, which was nice. That was a really nice escape, wasn't it?
That was. It was something that, like, almost like a dream trip, isn't it? Something that we never imagined actually doing.
Yeah. So we did that. And that was wonderful. We enjoyed that. And then what we decided we were going to do is, we had Willow, where we used to go on we probably used to go on 6 or 7 little trips in the UK in our caravan and in hotel, whatever, little cottages and stuff with Willow. But because we didn't have her, we thought, okay, all right, that's horrible. We want her back on anything, but we're going to change what we do. And we decided to start going holidays abroad and trips abroad, which we'd never done before.
No, we hadn't. We'd been on 2 trips abroad before.
Yeah.
But they were like weekends.
Yes. So we decided, we went to New York. We had then had a little trip in Bakewell, just us two, obviously, which is up in the Peak District.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Mallorca, which was lovely.
Our first ever beach holiday.
Yeah, that was lovely. Then we went to Zante. Then we went to Menorca for the weekend with some friends.
Yeah.
And then next week, we're going to Cyprus.
Yep.
For a couple of weeks, which will be nice.
So we found that we really do enjoy going abroad and experience different cultures, enjoying the food and, of course, the heat as well.
And in between that, we've been away in our caravan 4 times, each time with other people. It's just not the same without Willow, and we can't imagine doing it ourselves.
I don't think we ever would.
No, and we are quite enjoying the holidays overseas, so we decided to sell that caravan. And now we're sort of. So that, as you can imagine, that's been an incredibly emotional year, considering it was just us two with Willow for 15 years, and she was with us every day at work and everything. So that was very difficult to get used to, but we're used to it now because it's been 9 months nearly. It's been 8 months now. We're used to it. As you can tell, it's still incredibly painful, but we're now looking forward to the next chapter of our lives where we are doing this more traveling and doing different things like that. And we whilst still incredibly working hard. And this year has been fantastic for HFA.
It has, yeah. So we're trying to make sure we do things differently and experience new things, experience new places, new cultures as well. And just sort of think differently, really. Say yes to a lot more things.
Yes, that's what we do. We say yes to a lot more things now, which is good. And this year has been good for HFA, Home Fragrance Academy, where we've changed the whole website and the membership, everything. I feel like we're constantly improving things based on, of course, our experience, but also feedback, what we get from people and what we see from people.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the feedback we're actually getting in our products at the moment is exceptional, and we're really proud of that. And next year for HFA, it's going to be bigger and better. We're going to keep launching these small, ultra-specific products for people.
Yeah.
Keep developing our membership and hopefully attract lots more members. That's our goal, isn't it?
It is, yeah, to keep building and to mainly just to help people, because that's what we enjoy doing. Like when you're doing your one-to-one calls, you get to the crux of what people really need help with on that personal level and give them the advice and everything. And it's just amazing to see them doing it and following it and then growing.
So that's it. And we want Home Fragrance Academy to be the go-to place for anyone who runs a home fragrance business, who wants to learn the business side of it. Not just learn the business side of it, but actually want to scale up, grow, develop, improve themselves. We're not going to get involved in the product making. We're focused on the business of owning a home fragrance business and helping you achieve what you want to achieve.
Yep, it's all possible if you want to do it, and we're here to help you do it.
So on that note, head over to homefragrance.academy if you haven't already. See what we do, see what we're up to. Join our membership. Head over to our Facebook group, which is the Home Fragrance Academy community.
Yep, that's over on Facebook, so you can join us there. And we share lots of tips and advice and all sorts of things there. And there's lots of lovely members, over 900 of them so far, that support each other, give each other ideas and recommendations for things as well.
Exactly.
It's a really lovely, kind place to be.
It really is. So there we go. That was an emotional one.
It was.
That's episode 35 of the Together We Grow podcast. Thank you very much indeed for watching and for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a like on this post if you're here in YouTube, and leave us a recommendation as well for what you'd like to hear in future episodes as well.
Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.